No popping circumstances as I usually do before I go live. And all right, ladies and gentlemen, everybody out there, peace. This is the Information Man. Welcome to the show. As you can see, no music introduction or anything like that. This is part 2 of the Mason, Tennessee situation. I have on air with me the Vice Mayor, and she's out canvassing right now in Mason, Tennessee. This is an update to let you all know what's happening in Mason, Tennessee, as to where is the future of the town. Last week, we talked about the Comptroller, Jason Mumpower, trying to take over the town, the state trying to take over the town. And we know that there is a Ford truck electric plant coming into town, which could be a boom for this particular town. I also have on a sister there in the backstage right now by the name of Miss Dawn Page. And she's been looking at what's been going on from afar, and she's got a lot of good details as well. We're checking with her to get her opinions about what's happening. But most of all, we have the Vice Mayor here with us, and she's out canvassing right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is not just about talking about the issues. It's about being active. And we've been telling people all over social media to put out the hashtag #SaveMasonTennessee, and that we want everybody to get involved. I think Roland Martin has had her on his show. Various social media, those of us on social media have been talking about this issue that is happening in Mason, Tennessee, as people are coming in slowly but surely. I'm going to go over to Sister, with the time that we have with her, Sister Virginia Rivers right now, who is the Vice Mayor of Mason, Tennessee. She's out canvassing. Let's hear what she has to say. Sister, it's good to have you here. You're out and about. And hey, you came on and I said, let's hit live and go now. We don't have time for any popping circumstance. Let everybody know, first of all, how are you doing personally? I know it's been a roller coaster ride with all that's been happening. Let the people know what's happening.
Well, what is happening right now is that we're out canvassing the neighborhood, trying to educate people and let them know what we are up against, what the chances are, where we stand if we had given up our charter. Trying to let them know what the comptroller is trying to do as far as come in and take over our finances. They'll take over the finances, but they will not take over the city because we did not give up the charter. We also want them to know that the comptrollers did come in Friday, look at our numbers, and they sent us an email saying that they're going to postpone the financial oversight until around April the 4th, and they should let us know what they're gonna do from there. But I want everybody to know, because of their support and all they've done, things has really getting better. Well, hopefully get better, because
Right.
we are waiting yet for them to give us the final say. We do know that for as the $100 that we're not able to pay our bills, that's over $100 without their permission, that will not change. We also know that we are not able to apply for any grants, that would not change. So the only thing we're looking at is that the guidelines or demand they gave us to have to pay over $22,000 a month up front before we pay any bills. That's what we're hoping they would change, because now we have paid down our debt, and I want the people to know that it wasn't just because the comptroller come in. What we have done is things we already had in place to do. And now that they come in, they're making it seem like it was something they came in and we did. But that's not true. This was already in the work before they came. We just completed what we already had begun as far as trying to pay down our debt. So I want the people to know that we are out here now. We have been to many houses, and I'm so grateful because I have the support of the Alliance, of the Equity Alliance. I want to make sure I got their name correctly. The Equity Alliance. We have the support of the Green the grassroots organization. So we got the support of the NAACP. We got people that are backing us, supporting us, and people like you that are listening. please pass the word on. We still striving to make sure Mason progress, that Mason grows, and that we end up with what we supposed to have.
Let
Right.
me ask you a question, my sister, because it was said Miss Page was on that. We were on Clubhouse on Monday of last week, and Miss Page was on there. She said some very powerful things, which is why I had to get her on here. And we need people to know this. Prior to the financial issues that Mason, Tennessee was having, this was not under a black administration, right? If I'm not mistaken, it was.
No, it was not.
Now, from what I understand, it was one black person who was made to pay the price legally, but there was also a white lady that was involved in this in the politics of Mason, and they didn't charge her anything. Is that
Nothing.
true or is that false, my sister?
That is true. It was actually 3 white and 1 black. Of course, one took his life. The other one that took over the 600,000. Well, they didn't make him pay anything. He's out walking free. But the white lady, as you stated, she didn't even go to trial. She did nothing. But the black lady who was made to serve time.
Yes.
Not only did she serve time, she had to pay restitution, which is she is still presently paying restitution as of this day. So for them to try to tell us that it's not about the color, that's not true.
Okay. Let me ask you this question for the sake of time. Prior to the plant, the potential of this Ford plant being built, I believe, how many miles is it from them, Sister Page?
About 4.5 miles up the road.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Prior to that happening, because I've got audio of Mumpower talking about, well, it's been a 20-year problem. Were they concerned about the town of Mason, Tennessee prior to the announcement of this plant being potentially built there, a campus?
No, the answer to your question is no. They never came to Mason. We didn't have that issue with them. Yes, we had prior problems for our finance because of past administration. But for as the comptroller is concerned, they didn't show up or show any interest or in Mason until the Ford plant showed up, until the Ford plant came and last week, of course, they broke ground. So yes, we became so popular to them that they felt they need to come in and make demands on us to take what belonged to us.
You may I ask a question?
Let me move you front and stage and hang and stay with us as long as you can, Vice Mayor, because we need to get some more information from you. This is very important.
Yes, sir.
This video will get more views than it's getting in views right now. Believe that. It will. A lot of people will be coming over to watch this. Go right ahead, Sister Page.
Yes, Vice Mayor, I wanted you to comment. Previous to your administration, you actually worked under the previous administration with Mayor Gwendolyn Kilpatrick, and I had the pleasure of speaking with her. And she told me some very alarming information. There's actually something called the Municipal Technical Advisory Service. It's a service basically that all states provide to cities or people that want to form cities. She mentioned that when she came into office, she actually tried to avail herself of these services. It's basically they provide training. They provide training, finance, legal, technical, and municipal management services. And she's revealed that Mason was in fact denied or turned down for this type of financial and technical assistance from the state of Tennessee. And to me, that is definitely a blatant, obstruction. You guys were trying to make a comeback. Were you aware of that denial or other attempts at, turnaround of services that you tried to access from the state that maybe you were denied?
I'm not aware of that. I'm not saying that it didn't happen, because if
Mhm.
she said it happened, it probably
Yes,
did. But
yes.
I was not aware of the situation at that time.
Right. I think that the administration, hers and yours, have suffered some blatant racially based obstruction, and we really need to make sure that that gets out. But the previous administration did indeed appeal to the state for this very basic service that is provided to any and everyone who wants to form a town. And so this program would have basically walk them through reconstructing the town and getting things back on track. And they were actually turned down. And that's something that people need to understand, that Mumpower did this. And Mumpower has actually been in office. He may not have been the head comptroller, but he was assistant since 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
I think that's important for people to know. The other thing, I believe that the issue with the fire department, do you recall? Now, my understanding is that the previous fire chief retired, but then there was basically really no one who was willing to, I guess, yield to or answer to the authority of a Black woman in the town. And there were issues with the police department also, because there were some familial ties to the person who had stole the money.
Right.
It's just incredible, the obstacles that you have faced. And I think I just applaud you for sticking it out, but the humility. But I do think that we need to make sure that people understand that these people in Mason have been putting in the work to put this ship back right, something they weren't even responsible for, and that they have been doing the right things all along. And we have to make sure that people understand that they have been responsible to the best of their abilities. And I want to shout out Melissa Williams, Katie_8 from Twitter, who has been working with you. And I just want to give her flowers and Secure the Tribe and all of them while I was up here.
Right. I would like to say thank you to all of them. I can't remember all of them's name, but I just want to say a shout out to everybody. It's been a blessing. To Mason, we're grateful to you. We are grateful on behalf of the mayor and all of us. We are truly, truly grateful to you all for everything you're doing. Please keep spreading the word. Keep helping us to move forward, and just pray for us, because I'm a believer that we are not defeated. We will not be defeated, that we will win in the end.
Yes.
My sister, I'm going to give you a clap for that. Most definitely. Yes. Oh, man. We are going to win in the end because of everyone's involvement, everyone's hard work, everyone putting the word out there. This is what we need. This is what a community is. When something is going wrong, something is not right. It doesn't matter what part of the country you live in, is that you try to get involved. If not on the ground, you get involved as an activist. You voice out what's happening. You try to see what you can do to assist. I kept asking that question on Clubhouse. What can I do? What numbers do we have? And I'm going to give those numbers out to people if there's if we need to continue calling and putting pressure on. Because the reason why I need to ask you this question is because I took a look at the internet and I saw an article from the leader, Mason tell us if this is facts or not, Vice Mayor Virginia Rivers. We want to make sure this is facts and not fiction, because you know how the media is when it comes to our people. Mason officials, comptroller team have positive meeting about the financial plan. I see the mayor and see you. He's smiling in the middle. And it says here, Mason, now under the state controller's financial control, may once again operate independently sooner than later. On Tuesday, Mumpower team and officials from the town met in Jackson to discuss the plan to get back in the good financial standings. It was a very positive meeting, Mumpower said. We were able to come together with a plan moving forward. And at a meeting of the board, the mayor, the alderman, Monday, it was announced that the town has been paying a $10,000 towards the utility funds. That was a debit that you had for years. Mumpower said that this was not evidence to his team as they did not have the financial records and audit showing such. I remember on Clubhouse, you said that they were trying to get you to pay, what was it, 22,000? I mean, 22, what was it, 22,000?
$22,134. We had to pay that up front before we could pay any of our bills. As far as what Mumpower had said, yes, we had a meeting, and the meeting was okay. Nothing has been put in concrete. So no, I will not stand here and tell you that it has been resolved. And anybody that says that is not telling the truth. It has not been resolved until we receive something in black and white signed by him. Then
Yes.
I will make that statement that something has been resolved. And I wish people would quit telling that, because that's not true.
This is deep, sister. This is deep. Let me just say this to my audience. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why we can't always believe everything we read. If I had not had the vice mayor on here to give us the real truth, tell the truth, then any of us could read this and go with this story because it's in the press. And that because it's in the press or a publication of some sort, it's supposed to be true. I'm so glad that you came up and you dispelled this in saying that, well, wait a minute, we talked about things in principle, but nothing has been agreed upon. That is what you're saying to us, sister.
Yes.
Miss Virginia Rivers, Vice Mayor. Let me be respectful.
Yes. What I am saying is that nothing was signed. We have no MOU or anything. When we left that meeting, all we had was his word, that what he said that would happen. And that's what we still waiting on. We still waiting to hear from him, waiting to see what they're going to tell us. We are hoping for the best, but yet nothing has been finalized.
Nothing has been finalized.
No.
Okay. I don't want to put you in a rough position here because I know, it's town business. It's Mason, Tennessee's business. Is there anything that you can give us some insight into when you did meet with Mumpower? Was there anything that you got a guaranteed on? Of course, nothing is guaranteed unless you got it in writing and it's sealed and delivered, baby. But is there anything that made you feel that he was being an honest broker with the town and with your administration?
I won't go that far because I don't trust him, but I will say this: that they was willing to listen to what our finance team had to say. They did listen to the numbers, and they after seeing the numbers, then they was willing to come in and say we'll come and check the numbers out. If they match, if they balance with what you are saying, then we will relook at rewriting the guidelines of the man. But and like I said, they came Friday, they looked at the number, they said that they did look good, but again, that's the word. That's not anything concrete. Until you have something in black and white with a signature, it is not final.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Miss Sister Page, most definitely.
Vice Mayor, were you able to make I understand that you were able to make connection with some outside attorneys, and I'm hoping that they were able to or are working on a term sheet, specifically something that would raise the threshold of the minimum amount that for instead of the bill being $100, it would be $10,000. Basically adjusting the terms of the takeover, even though it is a shortened amount of time, but to relax those restrictions so that you can run the business. People should know that the payroll of the town is about $25,000 a month, and Mumpower was going to try to force you to pay $22,000 upfront, meaning his purpose was to bankrupt the town.
That's correct.
Purpose was to bankrupt the town. Mason, Tennessee has a utility plant. Now, it is my belief that they obviously would like to control whatever. I don't know if there are sewage dumping allowances that corporations have to pay to small towns. And if so, I would hope that even during this conservatorship, when Mumpower is in control, that somehow, if it was in a perfect world, your attorneys could, one, raise the threshold of the amount from 100 to, let's say, 10,000, but also to prevent him from disposing of any of the town's assets, quote unquote, to pay bills, such as selling off your utility plant or the rights thereof, or letting it fall into disrepair such that you cannot benefit from it when Ford comes to town, et cetera, et cetera. That's what my fear is. And finally, I would, and I'm going on because I know this is recorded, but also that you press Ford for a community benefit agreement. And I'm sure the people, the organizers there have been talking about that, but Ford needs to come with a jobs quota and training program for the entire area. I mean, the entire area is at least 65% Black, I believe.
Yes, it's majority Black. Yes.
Black on black on black on black on black.
Wow. Wow. That is powerful. These are excellent questions that Sister Paige is bringing up. Let me bring this up because we want to make sure that we're getting correct information. This was in the press. Is this true, Vice Mayor? Mason intends to use $227,000 in American Recovery Plan funds to make a lump sum payment towards the deficit, then continue their monthly $10,000 payment in order to keep from, putting a strain on your previous budget. Is that true or is that false?
Well, that was in our plan anyway. Before the comptroller come, we was already paying the $10,001 a month anyway, and we had already put in play to use our ARP fund toward that to help knock it down some. Although I feel it's unfair that we had to do that to pay off a debt from past administration that was not our fault. But at the same time, we had to do what we had to do. And so, yes, we did make the payment and using our ARP for the $227,000. But at the same time, this was already in the works before the comptrollers ever came. They just making it look like it's something we did because they showed up, but that's not true.
Now, this is another statement. If Mason's able to do that, able to make these payments, and able to pass a balanced budget, Mumpower said they could be removed from supervision sooner rather than later. Is that sort of the lingo that he gave you when you met with him just the other day ago or so?
That is some of the language that he used. He did state that, but again, that's just his word. We got to be able to make sure this come to pass, and that whatever we do is going to be in writing. Right. But we also have to keep in mind, sometimes people come at you one way because they are after something else. We know that it's our waterway system that they are after. So we're going to do everything in our power to make sure we maintain what belongs to us. It belongs to us, and we want to keep what belongs to us.
Oh, yeah, that's what this is all about.
Wait a minute now. You just blew my wig back.
Yeah.
And this to let everybody know, this is being broadcast live into Facebook. We're on Roku TV by way, and I got to make this announcement, by way of BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
All right, folks. So if you've got Roku package, you can watch this live right off your TV. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitch. We're broadcasting all over the place, but we just got some explosive news here, and I do mean explosive, lightning explosive. Now, I need you to say what you just said again, that underneath the belly of this snake is a desire to get their hands on the resources of this black town. Is that what we're talking about here?
Yes. They're after our waterway system. And that's something we don't plan on giving up. We also have to remember that the county mayor that they want to take over our town, we also have to remember that he not only wants to take over our town, he has purchased over 300 acres of land between Mason and the Blue Oval. And not only
Blue
that,
over.
he sits on the Ford board as the chairman. So you tell me, what do you think?
I think that the town of Mason should immediately hike up the taxes on that particular zip code where his property is. I think that the town of Mason should enact a special tax, because you have the power to do so, on Mumpower's property.
Well, it's not Mumpower. It's Jeff Huffman.
Excuse me, on Huffman, the county mayor. I think you should exercise a tax, or perhaps exercise eminent domain. So the one thing that Black people need to learn how to do is to take advantage when they have advantage. But you got to back up of the streets now. But yeah, I would be doing some gangster moves like that. But that being said, it is the waterway. The entire region is a freedmen, is the descendants of emancipated slaves. Those are our people out there. So that's the beauty of it. And so then you have to ask yourself, well, why are they going after Mason? And that is it. It is the jewel of the water system, the utility that they have there. And that is the jewel that they need to protect from this comptroller coming in, like I said, either starving it of assets, because I know the previous administration had done upgrades to the plant. The plant has to be maintained. We can't allow it to fall into a situation where there's a reason then for them to then build a new plant on that 300 acres that Huffman purchased.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not get it twisted. This is definitely what you call a takeover. They've been planning this for years. I don't know how long the Ford thing is, but I really do want to implore you to, like I said, I've provided my information and I'd love to do it offline. I'm sure you have all kinds of people helping, but you do need to make sure that you push for a community benefit agreement with Ford Motor Company. They owe you. And if not just for Mason, but just for the entire region, basically a package for us, for y'all, jobs, training, housing, making sure they're not shipping in all of their labor, even though those jobs that they're bringing, making sure that they don't fly in, making sure that they don't try to turn Mason into a work camp of parks and immigrant and Latinos. Afghanistan's.
Because when I look at the racial, as they say online, Mason, Tennessee, this is the 2019 numbers. Black people comprise 71.8%, Latino 6.3%, other at 6%. I wish they never name what other is. White people are at 1.6%. Oh, no, Asians are at 1.6% and whites are at 19.9%. You've got to make sure that black economics is at hand, because all they need to do is move other people into your community and try to displace y'all, because the real estate, this is the thing that tell me if I'm wrong or not, Sister Paige and Vice Mayor, of course. Wouldn't the real estate and the value of your town go up exponentially when that plant opens up? There's a potential that you may have people who might want to move into your town. Yes. If there's land to purchase, and if they were to come in and build stuff within your community, that would actually boost the value of your community because of that plant. Am I correct? Am I wrong? Am I just batting at something that doesn't exist?
No, that is correct. Once the Ford come in, our town stands a chance of really populating, growing, people moving in. It stands a chance of us having business coming here, like stores, grocery store, gas station, all these things that could come to our town. People will come and want to purchase. That's what we need, and that's what we want. And we don't want to be deprived of it.
Right. I hear you. Wow. Let me just say this to my audience. Everybody in the chat room, I want to say thank you for being here. This is a clap to all of you. I normally shout everybody out. I want to thank everybody for the super chats. We have Brother Keith Weston that gave me a super chat. We had Brother Larry, Anything Goes LLC gave me a super chat. Anyone else that gave me a super chat, if I missed it, I apologize. Everybody in the audience, you noticed that when I went on, there was no music, no popping circumstances. I usually do my introduction because we had her at a limited time here. And I said, let's just hit go and fire it up. So I don't really want to spend a lot of time greeting everybody right now, because I think it's more important that we hear what these sisters have to say, particularly the vice mayor, what she has to say on ground level. So normally I shout everybody out. I go through all of that. I'll have to do some of that near the end of the program today, because we just need to keep this conversation going and you need to take in the information. Now, I need everybody out there to take your cell phones, your desktop computers, your iPads, whatever you're using, and start sending it to the web. Send it to your Facebook, your Twitter. You know how we do it over here. Send it out so that more people will watch this video after it's over. This is very important information. Miss Page, I want you to take over now and ask her some other key questions that I may not have in my mind prepared to ask her, because I may not have certain knowledge that you have. You've been following this for a while. So go right ahead, sister.
Thank you. Well, my questions, I'll go back to Ford and just making sure my biggest fear is that the townspeople in all of the towns surrounding are not accommodated in terms of education for the upcoming jobs and just being trained for the jobs that are coming. I think that there should be special allowances. I am a reparationist, and I do believe in quotas and in reestablishing quotas for Black Americans, because I think the way programs are set up, basically we just continue to get discriminated against within those programs. I'd like to see a community benefit agreement that is kind of broad reaching for the, surrounding counties, since the surrounding counties are basically all, potential future Black Wall Streets. I'd also like to, I'd be interested. One of the things I was thinking out in terms of protecting Mason is whether or not what kind of relationship you had with the mayor of the town where the plan is going to be built is also a freedman, a Black man. I was wondering if you had ever considered the idea of marrying with another.
That's powerful.
Being your charter, but you become like a sister city or twin city.
Wow.
No, we had never considered that or even thought about it. We're too busy fighting, trying to keep what we have.
I hear you. I hear you.
So the bottom line is, fight today for what you need to keep
right.
Mason going. And then when you're able to keep the city going strong and improve it, then those questions about whether you want to become a sister city to the neighboring Black town, you can talk about that. But right now, you've got to get
right.
You got to get this municipality off your back and the state off your back.
Actually, that's part of the plan. Let me put it to you like this. This is a situation I'm seeing. A situation where you're coming to the table in a stronger position, join together with, your sister city. Is it Haywood, where the actual plan is going to be in that town? Coming together, joining together, sitting down and talking to them, and coming up with some sort of, mutual beneficial agreement. But I see them being potentially able to, protect you remain your autonomy, but in terms of oversight and financial management, you have someone working together with you. Of course, you're only 4.5 miles away, but I think that that's something that maybe the two cities can consider, and then you're sitting together across the table from Mumpower on the 28th or on April 4th, saying, hey, we are here. We are there, we are standing with Mason, Tennessee as their brother or their sister city. and we are going to, wherever they are shortfalls, we will be there, essentially including them, making sure that you're included in this benefit agreement, because I know they've met with Ford, or my understanding is at least they may have.
Mhm.
But that's what I'm seeing as possibility for you. And that is something that is actually to help strengthen your position, not necessarily something to wait until then, but to strengthen it now.
I see what you're saying, and like I said, until then, we're gonna do what we're doing. We have
Oh,
our
heck
attorneys.
yeah.
Our attorneys are working on things, and whatever they're working for our best interest. So we know that whatever they decide is gonna be for the best. And
Mm-hmm.
right now, we just need to focus on what we're doing, and maybe later try
Right.
to look at that because it's a good
Right.
idea. But right now, my focus is just where I'm at. I need to focus on one thing, win this battle, and then try to move to something different.
Right.
Okay.
So tell us, Vice Mayor, but the question keeps coming up about the fundraising. So now that we know that essentially the wolf is more or less away from the door financially, but talk about what your thoughts are on the fundraising efforts, the GoFundMe.
Mhm.
That's I only know of one, and I know there were being direct deposits made, but the GoFundMe, could you talk about how you feel about? I have my opinions about it. I think that we should continue raising money for legal expenses, and it can morph into something different as long as it's very transparent. Post the receipts, and I'm good. How do you feel about that, Vice Mayor?
As far as the GoFundMe, we're grateful for it, and we will and continue to ask those that are willing to help support financially, do it through the GoFundMe organization that has been set up, and help us that way, because that money can be used and will be used toward our financial situation.
And is that the one set up by Melissa Williams?
It is, yes, it is.
Okay. All right. So we want to shout out Melissa Williams and Secure the Tribe, Sonny, Conscious, Bobby, Booby, everybody else too. They can't think of right now, but yes.
Yeah.
Can I let me ask you a question too, Vice Mayor, because that's the same questions I asked on the clubhouse last Monday. Seeing that, and I have to agree with, there's a sister in the chat room by the name of Deborah who says stay focused on Mason, and I agree with her that we need to stay focused on Mason at this particular time. Is there any number? And what I'll do is I'll have my moderators in the chat room listen clearly to push this number through the chat room. Is there any number? Matter of fact, I can write it down myself to repeat it. Is there any number of any organization or a municipality or the government that you would like people to call to let them know that our support is with Mason? Is there anything that we can do?
Yes, you can call. I don't have the numbers to them, but
Okay.
sure, you can call. You can call Ford. You can call the comptroller. You can call whoever that's against us and let them know you're standing for us and that you are supporting us 100%, because that's what we need. And not only that, I also would like to say that we need the support of our citizens here in Mason. We need your support. We need you to come out to the town hall meetings and our regular meetings, so we all can be on one accord, so you can know what's really actually happening in your town, rather than go by hearsay. Come out and hear for yourself. Help support your town, because it affects all of us.
Okay. Now let's repeat this, because another document that I can't find right now that had a number on it. Just let people know that they can go on Google. You can go on Google, folks, and you can look up what is it? The Controller's Office of Comptrollers of Tennessee.
Your state of Tennessee Comptroller's Office. Yes.
Okay. State of Tennessee Controller's Office. You can look that up and Google that and find the number, and you can put pressure on them and say that you stand with the city, with the town of Mason, that you are in 100% support of them being independent. And is there another area?
I have some numbers here. I have a
Oh,
number
thank you.
for Tennessee Governor Bill Lee. It's 615-741 2001.
Bill Lee.
Bill Lee.
Okay, everybody, you heard it. 615-741-2001. Bill Lee. If you want to call and make your voice known about this issue. Once again, 615-741-2001. I'll put that in the chat room. If the mods can put that in the chat room as well, I'll try to put that in there right now. Continue with what you were saying, sister.
I wanted to know if people appreciate Mason also. Yeah, it is sometimes, people get caught up in their everyday lives, but yeah, you definitely have to pull together as a community. I was wondering if the people of Mason were aware that John Boyd was the first freedman Tennessee legislator, and he was from Mason, Tennessee. So y'all have a deep, deep freedman legacy there that they have got to rise up around and protect that and save that legacy.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people that are here does not know the legacy of the town of Mason. So that is something that they will learn and hopefully find out. But you're right.
Yeah, I was shocked to find that out. I was also shocked to find out how many prominent people are from Tennessee. But yeah, John Boyd, he was the first Tennessee legislator. He became an attorney after being emancipated from slavery, and he is from Mason, Tennessee, and he made a huge mark on the state of Tennessee. It is absolutely amazing. And freedman history in the area, and I think when people understand and do their genealogy, do their family tree, don't take it for granted. You know who grandma and great grandma is, but understand, how you came to be in Mason, Tennessee, and what the legacy was and what people came there for, to start new lives and to build up these lives for themselves, and what you guys have been faced with. I heard that the KKK still rallies openly in your area. Is that true?
They may do. I haven't seen them in this area. I'm not saying they don't. I know they exist, but just for as rallying, I haven't seen them rally.
I was talking to someone from your area, and she said in a nearby town that that's still very present. And I don't think a lot of us who are living outside of the South appreciate, that things are different, that they're literally, you have people like Mumpower, Huffman, the county council or mayor, who are literally obstructing the progress of an entire community. When I found out that the town had been denied this stewardship program, I mean, that is basically a plan for destruction, for demise. So it's important that we understand the very real threats that our Black towns are going through. They still exist. We still have hundreds of Black towns throughout the South. Mason is happening right in my backyard in Randolph County, North Carolina, where Toyota is coming. So these issues definitely, I'm so glad that, we got wind that Tariq Nasheed posted the story, and it just caught fire from there, and that we were able to catch this in time. And like you said, it's not over yet. We're still raising money for legal expenses, and we're here to support the town in whatever way that we can, and to keep amplifying the message. And please keep us updated.
All right.
Let me ask you this question too, with the time that you have left for us. And I appreciate you giving us of this time, as I know you are, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Virginia Rivers, Vice Mayor, has been canvassing today in the community, trying to educate her community as to what is going on with this situation. But how is the barometer, the heartbeat of the community? Do they feel that they're getting support from the outside or from within the community? Do they realize that there's a lot of people around the country who have been getting on this story and reporting on this story and trying to put the word out? Are they aware of this?
Yeah, they are. Some of them are aware. They all should be aware because everybody got media. They got YouTube, television, so it's everywhere. So people, there's nobody that don't know. It's just a matter of being concerned.
Okay. Um,
That's right.
is
Be a
there
concerned
any
American citizen.
right? Is there anything with the time that we have? What's going on, George Makem Experience, and everybody in there? Angelica, Keith Weston, Expressive Queen, Empire's Queen, Black Voltron, Club Den. I'm trying to name people as much as I can. Brown Girl, Bella, everybody in the chat room. Thank you. Back to the basics. Everybody that's come in. Is there anything that we need to know? And Sister Erica, is there anybody that anything we need to know that you have not laid on our ears yet that we need to know? Because as we just witnessed today, I read an article to you and you told me, hey, that ain't the way it went down. That's not all true. Let us know what we need. Let us know what we may not know, because you know how the media, you know how mainstream media is. They always paint not a truthful picture when it comes to our people, Vice Mayor.
Yeah. So the truth is that regardless to what the media says or how they write it, we need to understand the truth. We need to be able to, if you don't know the truth, then ask, find out the truth. But the media has a tendency to paint things the way they are not. Sometimes you even have people that are in positions that will say things that are not true and have not even talked to the people in Mason. So, and I found that to be has been happening as well. But either way, uh, just try to find out for yourself what's really going on.
Yes.
Stop just reading what's in the paper and say, "Oh, that must be right." Find out, is it right? Care enough about your community that you want to know what's right.
Okay. Since last Monday when we were on Clubhouse and you made statements that, you talked to, I think there was the NAACP. Have they reached out to you? The Congressional Black Caucus, have they reached out to you? Are you seeing the government in Tennessee now start to reach out to the town because there's been noise made about this, whereas before they didn't say anything about it?
No, the government has not reached out to us, but for us, the NAACP, my hats off to Miss Gloria Sweetlove, because she has really, her team, her lawyers, they have really been helping us out a lot. So I really appreciate them, and I appreciate them because they're not out saying things that they don't know. Or they make sure that what they are telling is the facts, not going off of something to try to make themselves get credit or look good. They're out to help us.
Okay. Before you go, you said that nothing has been finalized.
No.
So let's get it straight now. What is the comptroller saying? Is the town's not giving up your charter of 150? Is it 154 or 53 year charter?
153.
Okay. The town, ladies and gentlemen, is not giving up their charter. You're not giving up the charter. So what in the hell does Jason Mumpower, what the hell is he trying? What the hell did he lay on you in terms of what he's expecting from the town? You've already been paying $10,000, if that's correct.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here? I mean, I know what we need to do, but what's going on? What are they telling you?
Basically, yes, true that we have been paying the $10,000 on the debt. Mumpower, the only thing he's telling us is what he told us from the beginning. And I would state that in his letter, in his demand, he wanted us to pay $22,134 a month up front before we pay any bills. He
Right.
also don't want us to pay any bills that's over $100 without his approval. We can't even apply for grants without his approval. Again, even after them looking at our numbers, we don't know what they're gonna say or how they're gonna rewrite it. He just simply said once they look at the numbers, then they will let us know. So that's what we're waiting on. Nothing has been finalized. Nothing is in writing. Nothing has been put down and say, hey, this is where we want now.
Can I ask you a question? Do you have any idea where he draws the criteria from to make these decisions? Where is he getting the 20? I understand that maybe by law, the amount of time, the maximum time is 27 months. And if you divide 600,000 or approximately, that's how he got that 22 a month. But what is it exactly is supposed to be the trigger that says he can come in there and take over? Or is that at his discretion? Otherwise, just because he's white and he say so?
Well, to be honest, according to the comptroller's rules or regulations, they can come in and take over the finances of the town. But to come into here and take over the finances of the town is one thing. They did that for Jellicoe and Van Buren, but yet at the same time, they never asked for their charter. They never demand their charter. But you come into the town of predominant black town, and you demand, the first thing you did was demand the charter. Secondly, you said you'd take over the finance. Since we didn't give up the charter, we are not giving up the charter, then now you want to come in, take over the money. And yes, he can make it hard for us because he can say no to a lot of things.
Okay. Now, somebody asked a very, Angelica said it's a takeover by making them default. And then Deborah says, what's the deadline? Have they given you any deadline that you do this? And if you don't do this, it's over for you. Have you been given any ultimatum? In the beginning, you were given an ultimatum, but where does things stand now?
Even in the beginning, they gave us an ultimatum, but there was no deadline. There still is not a deadline. We won't know any of that for sure until we hear from them sometimes next week, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let me ask you this question with the time that we have, and let me know at any time, Vice Mayor, that you do have to go. I don't want to, I know I've probably taken up a lot of your time now, but this is very important. What scares me is that the town of Mason is mainly politically Democratic. Am I correct or wrong?
You correct.
Okay. And the town or the county, I keep wanting to call it a town, the county of Tipton, I don't know if I'm even saying that right. I'm having a hard time with that. Tipton County is made up of mainly white Republicans. Is that correct or false?
Tipton County is mostly Republicans. Yes.
Okay, this is where I'm going with this, and this is about Mason. Seeing that you are a Democratic town, you're voting Democratic, and we have this voter suppression going on around this country. Isn't that another slick way? Because I think this is a land grab, a money grab, but isn't that another slick way to dilute your voting block by merging you with the other county, which will be dominated by a Republican-oriented voting class that will sort of dilute whatever you all have going on there? I don't want to get over political here, but that's just my opinion on it. I'm not saying it's your opinion, but it's my opinion.
Well, and everyone is entitled to their opinion, and it's not that your opinion is wrong. The thing is that, yes, if they come in and take over, if the county come in, which is a predominant Republican county, if they come in and take over, it's just it's to root us out. We would no longer be Mason. We would no longer be who we are because we would own nothing. They would take over our water system, our everything, utility, everything.
Right. Wow.
And can do what they want within our city. And we wouldn't have a say so. That's what I'm trying to get our citizens to understand. Right now, you got a say so. But if they come in, you don't have a say so.
I wanted to ask, a lot of people have been asking, I can't believe it took me this long, an injunction. Is that in the plans to stop this action?
Again, our attorney is working on things, and I'm not at liberty to
Okay.
state what they're working on.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Good to hear. Good to hear.
Let me ask, out of respect, do you need to now leave the broadcast, because I know you said that you were canvassing? I can hear
Right.
people in the background. So before you disengage and go, can you leave the people with some final words? Because I know you have to go, but we're trying to squeeze the Charmin out of you. I'm trying to squeeze every moment out of this. And believe me, if there's time for you to come back at a later date to talk more about this, I would love to have you come back. I'll get in contact with you again so that we can get you back on when you may have a lot more time. But let's squeeze a little bit more Charmin out of you before you leave. Any last thoughts you want to lay on the people before you go?
Other than the fact that we're going to continue to fight, we're going to continue to stand for what we know is right, and continue to fight for our citizens. I said it from day one that I will fight for our charter, and I will fight for the citizen Mason, and I will continue to do that. And I need the support of the people. I need the support of everybody that has been supporting me in our town. Keep doing it. On behalf of the mayor of Mason and myself and all the others, we are grateful to everybody for what you're doing and how you are doing it.
All right now. All right. We're very thankful of you. And once again, Vice Mayor Virginia Rivers, I want to thank you for coming on, for being gracious to come on the show. I know that I understand why you sort of earlier when I was waiting for you to come on, there was something going on. And then I found out, luckily I had your number, and I found out that you're canvassing. You're doing what you should be doing. So, and I thank you by hook or crook. We still squeeze the Charmin out of you a little bit though here. And I want to thank you with a clap again, and you take care and let everybody know.
Thank you so much, Vice Mayor. We're with you.
Thank you too, Miss Dawn. Thank you.
And let everybody out there know where you are right now about the show.
Yeah.
Tell them to watch the Information Man show. Watch this video. It's front and center on my page. More people need to watch this video, so share it. Have the people in the town share these videos.
Yeah.
So that it gets out to more and more and more and more and more and more people. So thank you, Vice Mayor. You take care of yourself. And
all right, thank you.
we're going to have you back because we want to do some follow-up about this, okay?
We're proud of you.
All right.
We're
Thank
proud
you.
of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you. Bye.
God bless you too.
Bye-bye.
All right. All right. There she is, everybody. That's the Vice Mayor of Mason, Tennessee. I hate the fact that she had to go because we were getting some dime piece information. So I'm glad that she was here. And we have with us right now Miss Page. And I am going to drop a link, ladies and gentlemen, to let some of our audience come upstairs who would like to express themselves and how they feel about the interview with the Vice Mayor and how they feel about what's going on. But Sister Page, why I have you here, because you told me when you came on with me that you've been watching this. You got a little bit more, not a little bit. You got more information than I have on this because you've been checking this out. But is there anything that you want to lay on the people? Because you're not the Vice Mayor of this town, so you can be a little bit more loose with it, you see.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about the political ramifications of what you say. So get loose with it. Tell us how you really feel. And in a little while, I'm going to bring a few people up from my audience to let them join in and give their thoughts. But let us know how you really feel about this.
Well, I got a short time left. I got to hop off, but I will say that I do believe that this is definitely Jim Crow 2.0 in real time for all of us to see, get a glimpse of what Black towns have had to deal with. And I believe if you look at the timeline, the fact that Mumpower, the controller, has been in the controller's office since 2010. They've seen the developments in Mason, Tennessee. And I believe they made explicit decisions not to help Mason, Tennessee out. There was a lot of, I would say, corruption prior to the Black administration taking over in 2015. And I just think that, we caught this just in time. And this shows just what the power of the people getting involved and understanding, really what our ties are to this country, its history, the accomplishments. Mason, Tennessee is the home of John Boyd, who was the first Black American Tennessee legislator. And so they have a deep history, that entire area. And I think if people understood that, how deep their roots are, they would understand that land, that area belongs to them and that they need to fight for it. Mason, Tennessee is all of the southern rural area of America. We have Mason, Tennessees in our backyards, and we need to pay attention to our small towns. We need to get involved in the administration and know what's going on. But I'm just happy that, we've had such an outcry. I think Ford has some responsibility here as well. And often corporations, when they move into these areas, it's their responsibility to be good neighbors. And they craft what you call community benefit agreements. And unfortunately, Mason, Tennessee's administration has been shut out of that process. Mm-hmm. But I do think that there's hope if they do. Like they say, they've been busy keeping the lights on. I do think there's an opportunity for them to join forces with the surrounding administrations, other, Black American administrations who are also going to benefit from that. And I think together they should form a sort of coalition to make sure that they get jobs and training and, infrastructure, because, those are the type of things that corporations, when they move in, they get federal dollars. And so as taxpayers, Mason, Tennessee, and all of the surrounding areas have paid in tax dollars that Ford is going to benefit from. And so they have to understand not only their tie to that land in Tennessee, the fact that they pay taxes and they are owed the benefit of that plant as their birthright. And that's the way they need to approach it.
Yes. Yes. Someone asked, this sister right here had a good question. I think it was B1 Beauty Supply. She says, question, does the vice mayor know the sovereign town should pay their payroll and bills regardless of month's power, pay bills and take it to the Tennessee Supreme Court? So let's unwrap that. They are a sovereign town. So what are you trying? What are you saying?
I think what she's saying is that they should disregard any restrictions and go ahead and pay their bills and let Mumpower take them to court.
Mumpower take them to court.
Yeah, and of course we all have thought that, I'm sure, just don't pay them. And we don't know what the consequences are of them not paying those bills. You can't take the whole town to jail. Mm-hmm. So that's a strategy for them and their lawyers to discuss.
Okay. Let me say shout out to Brother Coolgen 87, Back to the Basics, Robin. Let's see, the Honorable Angelique Nordstrom, thank you for being here. Black Anonymous, thank you for being here. Black Anonymous, I got the email. It's a lot of stories I want to cover. I mean, there's the issue that you sent to me, brother, and there's a bunch of other issues I want to cover. But this, and then we have Empress Queen in the house. Thank you for saying tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
There's something else. You blew me away prior to us going live when you said that the actual, I think it's 4 miles away, the town that's 4 miles away from Mason, Tennessee, is in 66% in population Black town and has a Black mayor. And I gotta be honest with you, I feel that it would be a game changer for Mason if there was some way that they could merge with the other town, because we're as a people, as Black people, we are always stronger in larger numbers than in smaller numbers. What are your thoughts?
I would definitely have to agree with that. I think, particularly in this instance, I was trying to look it up. I think the numbers for the town of Haywood is, let's see,
Hayward, Tennessee.
46% Black. That is the town, and it's
Mhm.
in Brownville, the county of Brownville. And then, but the other towns around there, you know, these are majority Black towns. For instance, Brownville, Tennessee, which is the county in which Haywood is in, is 64.9% Black.
Wow.
Brownville, Tennessee.
So it looks like this town is going to get a boost.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. Yes, they are definitely going to get, the entire area is going to get a significant boost if they have properly outlined their demands for infrastructure and, you know, human resources and capital to build out the community that Ford is coming into.
Right.
Things like protection, labor protections.
Mm-hmm.
That's critical in what the town was willing to demand of this corporation.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that the entire area is going to benefit. And in The Devil We Know by Charles Blow, he calls for a repatriation of Black Americans to the South, to our ancestral South.
Right.
Mason, Tennessee is a perfect example of the vulnerability that exists in a lot of these towns where we have a population majority, but in many, many cases, Mason is an exception, are governed by all white administrations.
Right.
And, you know, there's an opportunity out there. I think. Right. But
that's the thing that blows me away about this whole situation, is that you have a Black town that is in this economic situation, no fault of their own. You had a Black man who was held accountable, but then a white woman is not held accountable for the role that she played in getting this town in this fistful situation, to say the least. And that just shows you how America still operates and how it works. But even though we know that it works on racism, it works on underestimating, and marginalizing and undervaluing our people, it does not mean that we can sit back, relax, and not continue doing the work and recognize right. What's happening to us, but we got to organize and come up with solutions. We can set up, and you made it very clear on the Clubhouse last week. You said, hey, there's no sense of sitting up here regurgitating what we already know. Let's focus on what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I 100% agree with you. So, but I really appreciate you coming up with me and being willing to come on and talk about this. And I'm glad that you were on the panel, because you were able to ask her some of the questions that at the time my mind just wasn't on. I wasn't there with those questions. Mm-hmm. And so you added to the flavor of this stream today. And let everybody know, again, who you are and the activism that you are involved in, organizations. I know you are definitely 100% for reparations, and you've been active in organizations, and you understand. We talked earlier about your understanding of the reparations movement here in California, but let everybody know who you are.
Hey, yeah, my name is Dawn Page, and I have an organization concerned Black American citizens, and we are a nonpartisan mobilizer. I train organizers. I do different campaigns, write policy. Right now we're running a campaign, launching a campaign, the National Committee for Office of Freedmen's Affairs. But I've been involved in the reparations fight probably for about the last 3 years, really heavily involved with it. I first started out with the ADOS movement, and since I have done a lot of work. One of the things I participated in was a campaign to support Byron Allen when he went up against Comcast. We did some letter writing campaigns for an amicus brief to support him on that. I've written some policy of a COVID relief plan for us as we were dying at 3 times the rate from COVID as a result of, past legacy of slavery, of redlining, us living on top of one another, being overrepresented in forward-facing jobs and underinsured. But I do a lot of work basically organizing through other people. I'm really out here trying to create more organizers out here. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I mean, I'm pretty much all over the place. We did a march in February where we presented our list of demands to the Biden administration. We're calling for an executive order for a reparations commission. And we want to reestablish the Freedmen's Bureau and the Freedmen's Bank. So those are the top things that we're fighting for as reparationists. And of course, specificity, delineation is key. And that's right now, I think one of the biggest threats to our claim is the flattening of Blackness. And so that's something that we're trying to inform the community on. As a matter of fact, I have a monthly community meeting, the reparations conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That's at 7:00 every 4th Sunday. CBAC hosts Khalif Alexander. We do what is reparations, who's eligible, and then we do topics. We've got candidate Marcel Dixon, who's running against James Clyburn down in South Carolina. We've got a couple other organizers from across the country. So we just want to keep people up to date on what's going on in reparations, what it is, what it isn't, and just keep people informed. Right.
And I'm going to be honest. I'm not a fan of James Clyburn because I've seen him be exposed by my man, Jamie Fowler, who I interviewed.
Right.
And Jamie confronted him and he looked at Jamie and said, "Oh, you're not going to get those reparations. You'll be looking for it." And so I think James Clyburn, he needs to go.
Yes.
James Clyburn is not with the future. He's the past. And because he's not progressive in his thinking, he just wants the status quo. And I thought it was a shame how he paraded Joe Biden, and black folks got all caught up in symbolism, as we always do for some reason. And they put Joe Biden in there, and we see what we're getting from a Joe Biden administration. We've gotten zero. We've gotten rocks in our Halloween bags like Charlie Brown. And then, of course, we have Kamala Harris, who I don't see what she's done. I don't even see what she's done so far as it relates to black women, since it was black women who voted for this administration at 93% highest, black men at 83%. And they really pushed Joe Biden to put her on the ticket. And when they tell black people, when black people say, "Hey, we're looking for our reparations, we're looking for benefits and tangibles for ourselves because we pay taxes, we're your highest voting block," everyone tells us, "Well, you're just going to have to wait. We're going to trickle it down to you through giving it to everyone else. Or we'll have to do a study on it when it comes to reparations." But they cut an $8 billion check for the Ukrainian situation. They cut a $3.4 billion check for Afghanis that have been brought over here. Everyone else is getting a check cut for them. But when black people are saying what we are due, they tell us we have to have a study. You see the hypocrisy?
It's worse because Congress just came together in a bipartisan manner and came up with $14 billion.
Oh my God.
The Ukraine, and the Ukraine has a population of approximately 40 million people, and the Black American population is approximately 40 million. So overnight, Congress came together and was able to do that. One thing Kamala Harris has done on December 14th, she stood in front of the Freedmen's Bureau, which had been the site of the original Freedmen's Bank. She stood in front of that and she announced $8.7 billion being given out to 175 different institutions for small business loans. But essentially, articulating the struggles and triumphs of freedmen and then proceeding to, put this money into banks that have a history of discriminating against us. So
the Wells Fargo's and all this, the Bank of America's and all of that. Yeah.
And then we had the American Rescue Plan, which $10 billion to over 1,000 community colleges, but $2.7 billion to HBCUs, but $11 billion to Hispanic serving institutions, and $5 billion to Asian American and Native American serving institutions. Many people didn't even realize that there are Latino serving institutions, and that now we also share the funding that was traditionally intended for Black Americans emancipated from slavery in our institutions is now split among Latino and Asian and Native American historical institutions. But I hope you heard the gap, 2.7 for HBCUs. And please understand there are more HBCUs than Latino institutions.
So wait a minute, 2.7
billion.
2.7
compared to
split.
11 billion for HSIs. Those are Hispanic serving institutions. And 5 billion to Asian American and Native American
5 billion
Islanders
to Asian. I'm writing all this down. So you're telling me that they're giving 2.7 billion to HBCUs, and Black people have been here since day one, built this country. Our Holocaust happened in this country along with internationally, and they're giving the Latino or the Hispanic or the community 11 billion for HHIs, and Asian and Pacific Islanders are getting 5 billion. Mm-hmm. So basically you are telling us today, if I got my math right, that these other institutions other than Black people's institutions are getting more money from the government. That's what you're telling me? I'm very angry right now.
I'm telling you that $16 billion is being given to Hispanics and Asians, and $14 billion is being given to Ukrainians. And $2.7 billion and Maya Angelou on a nickel and Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill is what you Negroes are getting.
Right. And some of us Negroes, some Negroes out there are just happy about it. They're kicking their legs in the air over it. A $20 bill, which does not, that her being on a $20 bill is not a cure for all the shit that we've gone through historically in this country. But this blows me away. 14 billion for the Ukrainians, 2.7 billion, ladies and gentlemen, for HBCUs, 11 billion for historical Latino institutions, and now 5 billion for Asians and Pacific. I'm saying this over and over again because I am so glad that you're on the panel, because you have just educated me on something that I did not know. I'm going to look further into this. I may have to do another show about this to get more deeper into this issue. This is a damn shame.
Tell the truth.
Yep, that's the American Recovery, the American Rescue Plan.
And this is what's crazy. You don't hear anyone from the Congressional Black Caucus telling us anything about this or putting up a fuss about it. No, they just get along to get along.
Precisely.
So therefore, this is why we are being bamboozled by our Black politicians, white politicians. We're being bamboozled by this country. And if we had real leadership, our leadership would be telling us more about this situation. This is a damn shame. I'm angry. It's controlled anger. It's intelligent anger, because I'm trying to absorb what you just said. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is a slap in our face.
Can I share one more trigger? And I am
Yes,
gonna
yes.
have to run, but I do
I know.
have to
Share
trigger you.
another trigger because we need to hear the
Here's
truth.
another trigger.
Tell the
So
truth.
across the country, we have what are known as MWBE or small business, but minority women and business owned programs. Most states have them. And because they do, they are not affirmative action. They're supposedly race neutral. They all have aspirational goals of doing 10% business with minorities. And they're required by law to do disparity studies. And you can pretty much go into your state or county, sometimes even your city, and find a disparity study recently done because they have to track these programs. They consistently show that both white women and immigrants get more business than Black Americans. So my question when I look at these results is, if I told you that white women were 40% of slaveholders, do you think it's appropriate that they get more business, a multiple of 10 times the amount of business as the Black Americans for whom the programs were originally set aside for?
Say that again, sister, because I'm.
So in North Carolina, they just recently completed a disparity study, and it showed that white women and immigrants or non-Black contractors, out of all the available contractors, that 20% were Black.
20% were
less
Black.
so were white. But when we looked at how they were utilized, despite being 20% of the ready, willing to work, Black Americans got 2% of the business.
2%.
And white women and immigrants got a multiple, not 10% more, not 20% more, not 2 times more, but 10 times more business in a state where white women own 40% of the slaves. And they are the benefiting at a rate of 10 times more than the descendants of the emancipated slaves those programs were originally meant for. I mean, and then we also look at it. So if we see that white women are getting 10 times more business in the state of North Carolina,
Yes.
we also know that white women are married at a rate of 73% to white men.
Therefore, that's generational wealth being created and handed down.
Generational wealth. And here's the other trick bag. These affirmative action programs, or MWB, minority business programs, are structured such that we will be disparaged against, we will be discriminated against, because they can meet the requirement by filling it with anyone who is not white, male.
Right.
So that's where historical biases are allowed to show themselves. And you look at the studies and they're like, wow, white women and Black Americans are still underutilized. So we need to continue these programs. So by continuing, you continue to get set-asides for white families. So it's the crumbs that we get that let us stay quiet.
And
what
then
really needs to happen is they need to be done away with.
And then we're fighting over crumbs. But before you go, my sister, let me, this is my man, George Macomb Experience. He has an organization called Urban Nerds Worldwide in Philadelphia, where he's working with youth. On his channel, you see him doing the work, real physical work on the ground, with mentoring, educating our children, and really out there. He's a fantastic brother. He has a YouTube channel as well. But you see, he says here, it's no longer the white man, it's our own people today. Would you agree with his statement? Because I'm coming to that belief that we are holding ourselves back.
Yeah, I do think that there are a lot of people who are part of the go along, get along crew, and, are just doing what has been done. Delineation takes courage, standing up specifically for Black Americans in today's politics, in today's world. Everyone accessing our culture, everyone presuming our vote belongs to them. That is the problem. We get some of the toughest pushback on reparations from other Black Americans because, you know, they don't understand it. They haven't done their tree, et cetera, et cetera. But we look at the Black Caucus and we see the complete lack of advocacy there, despite all of the leverage we should have as a constituency that delivered 90% of our vote to the current president. So, yeah, Black people are, I think at this point, the large part of our problem is a lack of intentionality. I think we have all the pieces that we need to win. We understand now race is not the answer. It's class-based policies, which are impervious to challenge in the Supreme Court. Yes. I think we have all the tools we need. We just have to be intentional about building strong family, strong community, and voting on policy.
Right. I would agree with you 100%. Let me give you a clap. I really appreciate you coming on board today and joining me. You've actually have really made this program today go from start to finish. This was fantastic, from the vice mayor being here to you being here and getting into the issues of reparations and dropping these powerful messages and information on our doorstep for us to go further, do further research. I'm going to further research this and probably do a stream about this because I knew that we were getting the short end of the stick, but these numbers really put it into full perspective. I had no idea that these other groups, Hispanic and Asian and Pacific Islanders, are also outbeating us. And let me just let you know this too. Remember when Trump sat up there in the White House and did that photo op with all those presidents of all the historical Black colleges, and you had a lot of the students say, don't go.
Right,
it's going to be a clown game. Well, check this out, because on YouTube, we have a lot of Black conservatives, and everybody can be what they want to be politically, but you had a lot of Black folks that were conservative on YouTube that were bragging about, Trump's doing more than even Obama did. He's giving them more money to the HBC. Well, come to find out, a lot of those presidents of these historical Black colleges are upset with Trump because they never got any of the money. He just used them as a photo op.
Actually, I think what had happened
what would happen? Explain it. Tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, some of them are upset with Trump.
When Biden came in, he cut the budget.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
You gotta get the story on that. But yes, the budget was cut significantly by Biden when he came in the office. We can't win with him. It's the things that have been done. Last trigger, and I swear I must get off because I got to.
Okay, one more trigger, and then I'm gonna bring folks on.
Office of New Americans. Look it up. Your city.
Office of New
Basically, they took the Freedmen's Bureau and they tied a bow around it and gave it to immigrants. It is basically services, legal, job training, civic training, childcare, accelerated citizenship. At your local Office of New Americans, they might be part of your university system. But this is basically just our entire legacy that has been stolen. Office of New Americans in Chicago, basically they looked and saw ahead 100,000 shortfall in the labor force, and they made a statement that they were going to fill it with immigrants and the children of immigrants. Just did South Side be damned. So I would love to come back and also put you in touch with another of my organizer, King Carter out of Chicago. Okay. And that'll really blow your mind if you're I would
love to have any of your folks on. Luckily, I do have your email.
Great.
So I will be in contact with you. Any type of program where I need someone like yourself that can bring context to it, I definitely will be reaching out to you to bring you on board, because I am going to be doing some shows and getting deeper into the reparations issues. I have there's a couple of brothers that I know here in California that are involved in some of the organizations.
Yeah.
I'm bringing them on. Brother Chris, I'm bringing him on.
Yeah.
I was actually out at the Capitol in Sacramento when we did a little rally out there promoting the reparations. And I know they have committee meetings, and some of those meetings I have missed. They've had them on days when I was not able to make it. but I'm familiar with that brother. I'm going to be getting in contact with him and so much more. We're going to have you come back. So thank you. Let's give you a clap.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you soon.
All right, sister. I'll talk to you soon, too.
Okay.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is Sister Dawn Page. She is an activist. The sister was right on top of it. She talked about things that I was not aware. I was aware of some stuff, but she gave us some extra context. Those numbers that she put out blew my wig off, and I'm going to go look at it more deeply, and then I'm going to talk about that on this show. I'm going to play a little music and drop the link in the chat room for people who want to come up on the panel. We'll have a short panel discussion related to this issue in Mason, Tennessee. And if anybody wants to bring up any issues related to what the sister just dropped on us about the disparity and how they're spending money on other groups. See, they're treating us like we're third and fourth and fifth class citizens, ladies and gentlemen. They're treating black folks like we don't matter. And Dr. Claude Anderson warned us about this years ago, and we didn't listen to Dr. Claude Anderson. We didn't even listen to Neely Fuller Jr. tell us the things that he was telling us. We have taken these people for granted, people who have given us pearls of wisdom to let us know what's going on. We got Deborah Gunn. Thank you for the super chat.
You are listening to...
Thank you for the super chat.
I want to say peace to Omega Dreads is in the gaming channel saying it's a must. It must put us to the rest of survival without the Grimmies. Right, brother. You're right. We've got Brother Will. Let me put these people up here. We got Wild Williams 454. Thank you for being here. We've got Jay Shine. Rent is in the house. Peace family. Definitely a great brother there. I got to give him a clap again. He's a big supporter of the channel behind the scenes, making things go here. You know I'm going to give you content. I'm not going to give you BS. We've got Water Sniper, like the picture on the avatar, brother. Looking cool. Peace to you. We've got Pam is jamming. Thank you for being here. Old Reliable's in the house. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. One of the moderators. Indians Exposing Investigation. Thank you for being here. Saying, whoa, I just found this channel. I love it here. Melanated People Unite. Yes, you're welcome here. Subscribe, be a part of the family. We got Keith Weston. Great conversation in session. Information man. Thank you, brother. And Robin, thank you for being here as well. I'm going to drop that. And Sister Boo, thank you for that super chat earlier that you gave me.
For the super
Everybody
chat.
that super chatted me, thank you. It goes back into the show. We're going to keep this thing improving and bringing on more excited guests. I bet y'all didn't know when I put that thumbnail up in that description, y'all probably said, well, wait a minute. Didn't Information Man talk about this issue already? And I put on there special guest. I had it written wrong the first time, but I changed it. And then y'all didn't know what special guest I had. Y'all didn't expect that I was going to have the vice mayor who's been in the middle of all of this situation of Mason, Tennessee. Someone who's living down there, and who is in leadership of this town. Okay, I bet y'all didn't know that was coming your way, but see, that's what we do over here on the Information Man Show. We're going to give you information to enlighten you, to open up one's mind. Down the street, around the corner, and up the street of the block is the information that we're going to give you. I don't play games over here. I don't make toy of anything. We don't waste our time in stuff that does not matter. We're not over here talking about gender wars and talking about black women this and black men that and all this stuff that's nonsense. While we're talking that nonsense on YouTube, we've got black towns like Mason, Tennessee that are under siege, that are being mistreated. We should be doing content to combat that. Even if your content is different, you should still use this as an opportunity to combat your true enemy instead of trying to fight against one another in a nonsense way. So I had to be on my soapbox here and say that to everybody, and that's the truth.
Tell the truth.
Let me go ahead and do this. Take a small intermission, play a little bit of music, and I'm going to drop the links. And while the links are dropping, I'm going to take a bathroom break. And then you can all come up on the panel, click into the link, come on the panel. And then when I get right back to this chair, I'm going to pop you onto the panel and we're going to have a short discussion about all these issues. Another thing I'm going to be talking about, there's so much to talk about. I think Black Anonymous sent me an email talking about this pastor, this bishop who has married, he's 63 years old, and he has married an 18-year-old girl that he has groomed. I hate this. I'm trying to figure out how I can squeeze that in as a content. I might go live or do a pre-produced video on that issue on this channel. I also want to talk about this Nature Boy character, which is, I had a chance to see this video that's floating all over YouTube where Nature Boy is now, he's got another con game going now where he's calling himself 3 God or whatever God. Just nonsense. And here we have black people on video getting on their knees to this man as if they're in slavery. What's going on? How can we on YouTube allow this sort of stuff to run on YouTube? This man has been running game for a long time. Mistreatment of women, mistreatment. He's trying to act like he's a pimp. This is nonsense. So that's an area I gotta examine, and I'm not examining to make to laugh at it, to make it like it's a joke. No, it's serious. It's a BS. What he's got going is a cult. I know Coach too well because where I lived at once upon a time in San Francisco, we had the Jim Jones Church. I have friends, people that I knew who lost their family's life with Jim Jones. I used to walk past the church. So this cult personality and this cult stuff, I know way too well. It's dangerous. And we may look at this on YouTube and say, oh, this is just entertainment. It's dangerous. It's even if they're trying to put on an act for us, it's still a dangerous display that does not represent where we need to be as a people or what we should be doing.
Tell the truth.
With that said, let me go take a bathroom break. I'm going to put those links in the chat room. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth.
Oh, there we go. Brother, it's good to have you here. I don't know how much of the conversation you heard in the chat when I had the vice mayor of Mason, Tennessee on to the conversation I was having with Sister Don Page. But I'm glad to have you here, Brother George Makem Experience. Everybody definitely should be checking out his channel, and you need to support the Urban Nerds Worldwide program as well. So, George, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Info? Yeah, I came in when I think you had was it the deputy mayor or I forgot vice mayor?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I just want to tell the people, man, you know, Info, for years we've been on here talking about white supremacy and things that the white man has done to the point where we got 6th and 7th degree black belts and historical history of what the white man has done.
That's true.
We know all that already.
Yes.
The issue that we have is he's who he is. The problem that we have in the black community is we don't call out our black traitors. Like everything that the lady names escapes me that just left.
Don Page, Sister Page. Mm-hmm.
We need more sisters and brothers like them that can actually break down what's happening on paper, right? Today.
Yes.
Because then we really find out when we ask the question, the fundamental question. We have thousands of black people in powerful positions across America in the state and federal governments and federal governments. How are these things still happening in 2022 with the black people that we have in power? So it begins to have a shift where it's no longer the white man, it's our own people. And I think that a lot of us black folk, we got to stop being lazy and do our due diligence of saying when these people come out to speak on behalf of black people, we got to do their background and say, hey, you don't speak for us. Because there's no way in the world, we're not born with one less chromosome. We're not stupid. There's no way in the world that the elder that was just on here can articulate how we had X amount of funds for us, but this amount of money went to white folks, this amount of money went to Native Americans, this amount of money went to Latinos, but we got this and some symbolic shit. I don't blame the white man for that. I blame
us. That's our fault. We allowed it to happen.
Yes, it's happening right in front of our faces. And that's why in 2022, you know, I kind of switched my message where I don't need to go in on the white man. The white man don't care about me calling him the devil. Mm-hmm. He don't care, because if he did, he would have been took my channel down. What he cares more about is us realigning ourselves with each other and re-educating our people as to who our enemies are today and who the people that are paid.
Facts.
People that are paid. And I think that
tell the truth.
I wanted to come up because I was listening to what the sister was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to interview more people like her.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then get us, the lady that was on, and start pulling out these people that was in charge, black people that was in charge when this stuff happened. Like, I want to know when the funding came down and the way the money was disseminated, I want to know what black person was in that room. We need to point that person out. They need to be all over social media. We need to know who certain federal judges are, who are the black state judges, you know, in the state, and all these different things, where all the things that we complaining about that's ailing us, we need to start pointing out these black folks that's in those positions.
Right, we got to hold them accountable. You're absolutely right, George. You're telling the truth.
Tell the truth.
Because what I've noticed in YouTube, all across YouTube, I gotta be 100.
Yes.
We do a study diet of white supremacy, but a lot of people, and I've been noticing this, a lot of people are not willing to actually call these certain people out by names. You know what we do, Info? A lot of us call out the famous name people. That is easy, like the Roland Martins. It's easy to beat up on him. But it's so many black people in positions that we don't know. Like, I give you an example. A lot of people didn't know who this black woman was that's married to this white man that's about to be the Supreme Court justice. But she's been in politics. She's been in a judge. She's been in position for a long time. Most people don't know who she is. but it's hundreds of people like her, both black men and women that are in the buffer class. Because I always tell our people, it's three in America, it's three types of black people. You got the elite blacks, the white collar blacks, and then people like us that's watching here now. And those elite blacks, not all, but a lot of those elite blacks don't give a damn about us.
Facts.
And I want you to understand something. When y'all hear me say elite blacks, I'm not talking about entertainers. I'm talking about affluent black people all across America that you don't know.
Facts.
That are in powerful positions, very powerful positions. And I think that we have to do a better job now. And for doing our research and finding out, we need to find out who all the black federal court judges are. We need to find out who all the black people in the House of Representatives. Like, we need to know who all of these black people are and what do they represent. It's our job. I can't come before my people no more and talk about white supremacy, but then it's black people in position that I don't know about. That's irresponsible on me. The people that follow me. I need to know who these people are, because when the sister come up and make these complaints in 2022, we need to be in the room ready to intercept that shit, or outside saying, hey, we don't agree with that. We're not in those rooms when this stuff is going down, so they're able to get away with it, because a lot of us don't even know.
Right. That's right. I hear what you're saying, that the devil that we already know, why are we surprised by what that individual does? But then we've got black people who look like us, who smile in our face and act like they got our best interests, and they may be doing all sort of devilish things to us themselves, but we don't always see it that way because we see it as, oh, they're black. And we focus, as you said, we focus on white supremacy and what the white man has done. We already know what the white man has done. We've got documents on that. But we also have another enemy that walked out of slavery into Reconstruction with us, that have been gnawing at us ever since, and they look just like us.
Yes, just like us. And, just think about it, y'all that's watching. We graduate thousands of black people from HBCUs every year. They go out into the corporate world. They go out into the workforce, and they go to work. And the black church is a very powerful place politically for the Democratic Party.
Right.
We need to know. We need to find out these black pastors across America, the ones that have the voting power, like the large voting bases, like a lot of these major churches in the areas they are, and what their politics are, what did they vote for. Like a lot of those big churches across America, this is why they do them tours when they run for office. They go to the black church, because some of these pastors have a very, very large range of voting power. We need to know who those pastors are. We need to put them on the Summer Jam screen. We don't do a good enough job. And I'm going to tell you why. Info Man.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
For a long time, we know that we've been treated bad, and the system has we've never got justice for us. So it's hard for us to turn in our snitches, or even turn in people that's doing crime in our community, because we don't mess with the system. Because the system never gave us justice. So because we never mess with the system, we got criminals just running wild in the community, and we have criminals in suits that talk articulate.
Ain't that the truth?
Wild in the community.
That is the truth.
And we're gonna have to get to a place where we're gonna have to draw a line in the sand. Because I'm gonna say something controversial.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these educated black folks in suits that carry a Bible,
yes,
or that's in political positions, are worse than the goddamn drug dealer that you see. Because the drug dealer is the one you see. He's the last result. He's at the bottom of the pole in capitalism. It's the educated black person that can come to your town and talk real clean with his wife and make you believe that he's for the people. He's the one that's creating policy, that's creating the drug dealers. He's creating the real niggas. He's the one that's keeping your communities dilapidated. But because you look at him as something greater than you, and you believe that he has your best interest, you allow him to just roam free.
Right. Just like, I don't have to get too far into this issue, but you probably heard this on the YouTube street. There's some pastor, there's some bishop, 63 years old, and somehow he married and grooms an 18-year-old black child. He's black himself. And you got people right now, I think it's in the city of Atlanta, you got people who are now writing petitions against him because he's not only done that, but he's been doing other shady things. See, so what you're saying is facts. We have people in the pulpit, people that wear the robe of a religious clergyman, people who wear that robe of a suit and politician, alderman, or what have you, who are robbing us blind.
Well, just think of this, right? I want people to remember this. I want y'all to ride with what I'm saying. Listen to me. Open your ears up to what I'm saying. It's not the fact that he's just married an 18-year-old. It's deeper. Okay. That's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is the position that he's in and the mentality, that the mental state that told him it was okay to do it before the people.
Yes.
Knowing the black community, that we would immediately frown upon something like that. But the mitigated gall and audacity to do something like that before black people lets you know the state that we're in and the state that the church is in. It should have been something inside of him amongst his peers of pastors that should have had some sort of shame. But we're at a place where we've allowed things to go so long, there is no more rules. Everything is just, see, just think about it, Info.
Yes.
A lot of times it's not the act of what you see a person doing, it's the mentality. See,
yes.
If somebody shoots somebody in the street and I'm an investigator, I can go and lock that person up. But if I don't destroy the mindset that's creating this, it's going to keep perpetuating itself. So yes, it's the mindset of the pastor that led him to believe that it was okay to do that. This is the problem. We don't. I can do what I want to do. This is the black community. This is the state of the black community. And the brother said in the chat room that we can't go to war without money. Let me explain something to you, my brother. Money. Do you understand what money is? Money is paper. Money is nothing. Right now, Information Man has currency because he has your attention. The real currency is the time and the attention that you spend. I'm gaining money now because you guys are taking the time out in your life to listen to what I'm saying. The more and more we come together under an agreement of what we want, we already have money. You guys are stuck up on the illusion of wealth, so you don't fight because you think that you need to have paper money. No, real money is us coming together with the belief of change.
Yes,
that's the real power.
That's right.
And we tell the truth.
We gotta get to a place where we say, let's put the white man over here for a minute. Let's start calling out. If you bring that sister back on and she start breaking down everything that was tangible that was supposed to be for us, the first question we should ask when she's done is, who were the black people in charge of each one of those positions? We need to talk to them. And we need to,
and I think I'm going to do that research. We need to research and identify who was in charge of what. And then we need to call them out on the carpet. And we need to if you're a person who believes in politics in terms of getting up in the ear of your politicians, we should be getting in the ear of these black politicians. We should be confronting them because they get on TV and on news and all these programs every day talking about what they're doing for us. And then we find out that there's all type of programs that have been created that are undermining us. And then we could, like you said, we could easily get up here and say, oh, this is what the white man did to us. And then we find out that we got black folks in these positions of authority that are undercutting us as well.
Well, my brother said, but to come together, you need that bread. Brother, I'm telling you, you don't. Listen, that's the illusion. To come together, you need understanding of what your enemy are and the goal that you want to achieve. The thing is, when me and Info Man was growing up, the world was a closed fist. Now the world is an open hand, both open hands. You could be everywhere at the same time.
You don't need money to come together. If you look at every movement from the grassroots, they didn't have a lot of money. No. The Black Panther Party, which was founded in Oakland, California, I knew people that were Black Panthers when I was growing up as a kid. They didn't start out with a whole bunch of money.
They started out with an idea.
They had an idea, and they were able to get momentum with that idea and galvanize the people with information first.
The more, see, the thing is, look, let me explain something to y'all about this thing, how it worked and how we've been lied to in the system of capitalism. Listen, y'all, this place is a market. America is a marketplace. When you ride through Philadelphia and you see all the row houses or the Bronx or like the East Coast, how we all compacted on top of each other.
Yes.
There are row houses, there are stores, there are people. And in this place, you need people to participate within the market to make the market flourish. Right?
Yes. Yes.
African Americans, Arabs, white folks, Indians, Asians, and different groups all come together, all come to make money within the system of capitalism, and they work together as a group, right? African Americans, separate from the Black immigrants, right? Not saying that they're not our people, but I'm putting things in context for a minute. African Americans in this marketplace that we're in, you need to understand what your position is in this market. Take the emotionalism out, take out slavery and what they did to us, right? Take all the trauma and emotionalism out because they want you operating from trauma and emotionalism and not cerebrally. I want you to understand in the marketplace, what position do we play for other groups of people? Everything that we do is beneficial to other groups within this market because we don't move together as a unit. We go to other people's universities. We allow people to come into our communities and make money, right? Just think about it, right? And in Philadelphia, New York, Boston, Chicago, if Black people got themselves together psychologically and economically, what would that do to all the immigrant groups that whose life is predicated on making money in your community? It would make a shift within the U.S. economy and U.S. policy.
Right.
Because U.S. policy allows immigrant groups to come here, right, to make a living while they do business in their countries, right? But if Black people, the Black Americans woke up in this marketplace and said, hey, we don't want to live like that no more. Matter of fact, we don't need your Chinese stores. We got all our own stuff. That would cause a shift. So what I'm saying is everything that's happening to us is capitalism within the market. You are beneficial and profitable for everybody else but your own people. That's why they won't fix you. That's why they renege on certain contracts. That's why if Trump could sign some money for us for HBCUs, the next incoming president can cut the money.
Yeah, right? Can come in and cut it right away.
Because remember, in this market, Black dysfunction is a well-organized multi-trillion-dollar machine. And in order to alter that, you got to replace it with something. Right.
Let me just say this to brother Wow Williams 454. He says on this statement here that we have scholars, but the best in the world, but you got to have support. Now, when I look at support, George, I think without even it being about money, you have to have the support of the community. You have to have people who believe in a vision that everybody is unified under, that people have the same goals in mind. That's really what unity is about, unifying with people who have the same like mind as yourself in terms of what they want to get done tangibly. So that's really all you need is you need people who are on the same page with a vision and people that are willing to take that vision and put it into reality by putting work on the streets on the ground level to make that vision become a reality. We can have Black people in our community who don't support what we do. Just like you have Black people who don't support Black businesses. Oh, I don't want to go over there. That's that, right? Those are Black people that are an enemy to our movement and to our cause because they are undermining us at every cost. You can say you don't want to be a part of something, but you should never do anything to undermine what it is that our mission is about. And we do have many people who undermine us that have been used historically to undermine our organizations. But you don't need a whole bunch of money to get things moving in the beginning because you got to gravitate people's minds with the message, from the message to your actions. And people have to have a belief in something that they're willing to get involved in and put the work into becoming a reality. And George, your message is true. And I've been, I've done it too, focusing on white supremacy versus realizing we've got people amongst us that are looking like us, that are doing us harm as well. We already know what the white man has done, what he's capable of, but we got people that we let fester around us that look like us, who are ultimately getting in the way of what the agenda should be and what it has to be.
And remember, Info, we got one of the biggest problems. That's why I'm using the term the marketplace.
I hear you.
America is a marketplace where goods are dumped off to be consumed, and groups come here to compete as a group. These groups come from foreign places where they can go back. They come with intact culture. We are the food for everybody else because of what happened to us, right?
Yes.
But we can't continue to dwell on that. We got to figure it out and move, right? Now, I want y'all to understand something, right? The more and more we commit verbal genocide against each other in these social media places, we are solidifying our place within the market. See, I remember the people that created this market that we're living in is part of the white supremacy that we talk about, right? It's up to us to understand the marketplace and what our position is in the marketplace. So when the sister was just on explaining how money wasn't allocated right, that's because our position in the marketplace is in the bottom. And watch this. Groups are not incentivized to help you because, listen to you, everybody listen. Even if you're cool with certain immigrants, right? Or certain politicians, they still can't help you because their lifestyle is predicated on your dysfunction because that's the way the system is set up. So until us as a group build to bring something to a table where we have allies, we're not going to have friends. People are going to come and act like they're your friend, but their lifestyle was predicated because the way the capitalist system was set up and how they were brought here for you to be the burden bearers until you figure out how to fix yourself. Right. So the way we do it is these social media places that we got, every time we got to use it as a political structure. We got to get back political. In the 60s, our parents and them back, they was like 17, 18 years old in college. When you look at those political riots in the 60s, these were college kids. We got to get back political. We got to start using this stuff to wake up our people and start the think tanks and process across the country. If we don't do that, we actually solidifying ourselves in the market, man. And then you can't blame the white man for this. We know he created it, but the thing is, Info, if we know that he created the market that we're forced to live in, right?
Yes.
Then it's our job to figure out ways to get ourselves out of it. If I'm spending time on here arguing with black people, committing verbal genocide against other black people, and they doing it to me, then the white man is in the corner like baby rubbing his hands. Right.
That's exactly what we're doing. And that's why the last time we were on a pound together, I appreciated the fact that you said you don't want to be involved in any of this gender warring, this back and forth, tit for tat type stuff. I'm sick of it and don't want any part of it as well. I've had enough of it. I've had my share of it. And I think it's just something that I want to be a part of. It's not productive. It isn't constructive conversation that leads to anything. And we're doing the enemy's work for us. But this is what I believe, though, George. I think that some of this stuff happens because you do have people that are on these platforms who are actually the very thing you're talking about. Other black people who are not in the interest of other black people. Yes. So they are simply distractions to get us off of what we should be focusing on and get us focusing on the low hanging fruit.
Yes. Yes. So yes, that's also part of this, a part of the design. And then another part of the design too is some of our people are agents for the system, but don't even know it. When you beat down the people so bad, so much to the point where they begin to see themselves as the nigga, they see themselves as less than, they behave that way. Yes. So I'll give you this scenario. Rashawn shoots Hakeem in the head. He's dead. Police come scrape his body up off the ground and they lock up Rashawn. Rashawn goes to jail. Hakeem goes to the morgue. Who benefits from that? And it's happening all across the country every day. That's a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? Keisha raised without her father, and now she's a bad bitch twerking on a pole and buying all kinds of material items that she don't need and never thinking for the future, right? George Macon drives down the street and throws trash, his McDonald's, out of his window onto the ground and make the property value plummet of property that he don't own. So immigrant groups come into the community and buy it up for cheap. And then when it's time to gentrify, they just make it go up 100 times the profit. Right. So what I'm saying is, if you condition the people to believe that they are which they was once called, then they will actually perpetuate it themselves. You won't have to come into community and do it no more. So what I'm saying is, they created the mentality for you to behave within the marketplace. So right now, there's a real nigga being born. There's a bad bitch coming out of a womb right now because you have a mom having a baby where there's no father in the room, unprepared. That's part of the psychology that they built. That's happening right now. You have a coon, right, that's selling out maybe his black town that he live in or the city he live in because he doesn't see the relevance in any black progression because he's never saw it. By the time he was a kid, when he woke up in the morning, he put on clothes he didn't make. He went to the store, he didn't see nobody look like him. He went to school, he didn't see no teachers that looked like him. Nobody ever told him his history. So why would he fight for anything black when he's never even seen the relevancy or black people winning? All of this stuff is psychological in the marketplace, and this is why we behave the way we do. So now, because I know this, there's no way in the world I could be on YouTube arguing it and cussing my people out, because then I'm dead wrong, because now I know better. So
George, I'm going to end up ending this broadcast, but what I want you to do, and I really am glad that you came up and you have dropped this wisdom on us today. Let everybody know about your organization, how they can get involved, whether if they're in your area, how they can get involved physically, or they can give a donation, which your organization is a tax write-off, what you're doing with the kids, where they can find you on YouTube and what have you, my brother.
Yes. Okay, 1 second. Let me get this up here real fast. I'm putting it in there. We have a GoFundMe up right now. We're trying to, now that they're getting lax on the mandate restrictions. We're actually trying to this spring, we're trying to do a HBCU tour. This April coming up, we're going to tour a couple colleges locally, the University of Pennsylvania, Villanova University, and we're going to tour Temple University. The whole idea is to give the children a different experience. We're working on a robotics club with Drexel University. Hopefully, we're working on in the future coming with a coding camp. I want you guys to check this out, right? It's and the whole message is in the name. Urban Nerds Worldwide, right? With everything that I talk about, the reason why I titled this Urban Nerds, because I want to bring black intelligence back to the hood. I want young kids to know that it's cool to be smart. Like it's cool to be a nerd. Like you don't have to be a real nigga or a bad bitch. Like you can be cool. You can have swag. I know a lot of nerds that have swag. So we're going to be visiting union halls, where the kids will get a chance to see like the electricians unions, the water department. We're going to different places. We're going to be interviewing black doctors. There's a lot of things, because I'm gonna tell you, info man. I talked to a lot of my kids, and they didn't believe that black doctors existed. They argue with me. So the whole thing is, it's our job to teach our kids their history. It's our job to teach our kids who the original superheroes are. Every black kid like ice cream, but they don't know that it was a black man that invented ice cream. Buster Jackson. That's the black original man. Superman to a child.
Right.
He invented that, but they don't know.
He invented ice cream.
So for me, I
Augusta.
grew up in the streets, been in trouble for many things in my life, all kinds of crimes. But you know what? When I was in prison in 1997, a brother from the Nation of Islam, we were sitting in the cell, Zachary Ricketts. That man came in my face and said, "Young brother, you are a nerd. Don't you ever come back here again." Now, here I am. I'm in gangs, selling drugs, getting locked up for all kinds of stuff. This man called me a nerd. I was offended when he called me a nerd. Info. I thought that was corny, but I understood why. I read everything. The way I talk now is the way I talked at 21. And he said, you are too intelligent to be in somebody's prison. Don't you ever bring your ass back here again. This is one of my mentors. So I titled it Urban Nerds because in our community, we got thousands of urban nerds, but I know so many brothers that's out there right now that's carrying guns because when he was trying to show the world how smart he was, nobody cared. So in order to seem like he's decent, he picked up a pistol. He started talking about stuff he shouldn't talk about. A lot of those rappers out there that talk about killing each other, that know how to articulate words, a lot of them guys are nerds. But we never made being smart cool in the hood. Well, I'm changing that because I'm tired of seeing black boys dying and black mothers crying. I'm tired of it. So as a black man, I'm doing something about it in my community. You guys can hit our GoFundMe. You guys can go to our website and you can see our work, the things that we're doing. You go up there, our Urban Nerds Worldwide channel. You can see us with the children doing the history videos. Actually, matter of fact, we can't do it. Never mind. I want them to see it.
Let me see what I can do. Keep talking, George. Let me see if I can pull up your website and I can probably show. I think I did this before.
Yeah, do this info real quick. Go to my Urban Nerds Worldwide channel.
Yeah. Urban Words. Okay, you want me to go to the channel?
Yeah, I want you to pull up one of the videos with our children. I want them to physically see our babies, what we're doing with these babies. I want the black mothers that's in here now. I want them to see what it is that we're doing because I think it's important.
All right. Let me see here. Give me a minute because I'm trying to let this. Okay, I think I found the actual channel. Is it the first video? You got Diabetes Important Newspaper.
All right.
Which one do you want? Let me just click into the let me click into the channel. Click into the channel all together, and then you can direct me to the video, and then I can set it up in the share mode.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Because I got the video page. You've got diabetes. You got.
See it. I can tell you which one to click on.
Well, let me hang on for a minute. Let me go into here and share screen and click this here. And then here we go. Boom. And then let's share. All right. Can you see anything? Wait a minute.
Click on the one with the girl right here. Right here.
Okay. Let me enlarge this and let me click on that. Hang on for 1 minute, folks. All right, there it is right there. And I'm going to enlarge this.
Yeah, I'm going to call it right now. I think I found the single biggest productivity hack of 2021. It's this Google Chrome extension called Speechify, and it literally does my reading for me.
Yeah, I think you can actually, I want y'all to see this. This is what we do with the children.
About an African-American inventor named Valerie Thomas. Thomas was born in Maryland in 1943. We're going to get up to a quick start in Valerie's story. Valerie is one of only 2 women to major in physics at Morgan State University. After Valerie graduated from Morgan State, she accepted a position as a data analyst mathematician at NASA. In the 70s, she developed the image processing system for Landsat, the first satellite to send images from Earth to space. In 1980, Valerie received a patent for an illusion transmitter. The device produces illusion images via 2 concave mirrors. This illusion technology was adopted by NASA. This illusion technology was also used for surgery. And guess what else? It was also used for the production of television and video screens. Valerie continued to work for NASA until her retirement in 1995. Thomas contributed widely to the studies of space. She helped develop research on Halley's Comet, the ozone layer, and satellite technology. Valerie received a number of NASA awards. Valerie mentored the youth at the Science, Mathematics, Aerospace Research, and Technology, Inc. Valerie will always be remembered as one of the greatest African American inventors of all time.
Little info, real quick, right?
Hang on. Let me stop that right there.
I got a real younger one, right? Just real,
Here, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I want you to go back to it real quick. I want them to see one more thing.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, this is important, right? Because see, we could talk about things, but people need to visibly see actual. And I want to explain why.
I'm gonna hit play. You want me to hit play on this?
No. Go back to the where we clicked on the videos, like the different videos.
Okay, back to the back. Okay, I get it. All right. So now
go to the one next to it, the one with the little. This one. This is an 8-year-old. Because we also teach them reading. The 8-year-old. And I'm gonna thank you why I do this. Now, thank you, Info Man, for doing it for me.
No problem.
This is a little guy right here.
Gary Morgan.
This next video is about African American inventor Garrett Morgan. Garrett Morgan was born in Kentucky in 1877. In 1914, Garrett invented what is known as the gas mask. In 1923, Garrett Morgan invented the first traffic signal. Garrett Morgan also invented the ladders on fire trucks used to save people. Garrett Morgan died in 1963. He lived a long and full life. He will always be remembered as one of the greatest African American inventors of all time.
All right, let me stop that there, George, and let me stop that right there.
Yeah.
And George, let me put you on the screen, brother. I really, we should have done this a long time ago, brother. We should have displayed some of your videos so my audience can get their butts over there and subscribe to that channel.
Yeah, we'll set up a date and I'll come on and we'll sit down and talk for an hour or something.
Okay, no problem. I would like that. Everybody, let's give it up for Brother George Makem. Those is what you can go over to his channel, Urban Nerds Worldwide. I think it's been put in the chat room. Go over there and subscribe and give support. The brother is doing the work.
And I think that the reason why we do this, Info, that my niece, these kids are fed a study diet of what bad bitch culture is.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know who Valerie Thomas is. You like to watch your 3D TV? Well, that's a black woman that invented that. 3D imaging came from a black woman. There is no 3D glasses or 3D TV without a black woman. That's the real bad woman. Not a bad bitch, a bad woman. She knew that's a superhero right there. But our kids don't know it. But George is here. I'm going to tell them that. So it's our job. We got to support our own stuff, man. We got to teach our babies. It's our job. That 8-year-old little boy, he now knows who Garrett Morgan is. We teach them how to read the lines. We teach them how to set up the cameras and do the work that needs for the production company. For the production to even do the videos in the green screen. All the kids do it. They set it all up Info by themselves because we told them.
They learn.
We told them how to use the camera. So we're teaching the kids how to do this thing. This is Urban Nerds here, man. This is what we do. So, like I said, I took 30 kids to the Black Wax Museum, the African American Smithsonian Museum, up the Q Butter School in Brooklyn. So we're moving. But I don't go to the corporations to beg the white man for money. I rely on our own people for it.
Right. And that gets back to the question that was asked in the chat room earlier about us needing money, when in fact what you're doing is a tradition of our people where it's done in the grassroots method, where you don't have a whole bunch of money, but you put forth an effort to to expose kids to things that are realistic. Look, we don't need to have a lot of money to start these programs. Now, do you need donations? Do you need support? Yes, you're going to need support as you progress as a program, right? And that's the reason why I'm going to say it again. Go over to the Urban Nerds Worldwide website. Check out the merch, buy some of the merch because that money goes right back. You see, George has a beautiful hoodie on with the logo and there's different styles. Let me put you front and center again. And if you buy one of the merch, the shirts, the t-shirts, all the merch, that money is going back into the Urban Nerds Worldwide. That's nice. Yeah, that's nice, George. That's real nice right there.
This one glow in the dark. It light up. It light up. It light up.
That's fantastic. So, right. Wow. Look at that, folks. Look at that. And so look. It's a nonprofit. So anything that you give to the organization from $5 to $3 to $20 to $50 to $100, whatever you can spare, you're going to get a tax write-off on this. And you're also benefiting the organization when you buy merch. Yeah. So it's a no-win brainer. George Macon is not someone walking around talking about what he's trying to build. He's doing it.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, but we're trying to create chapters like Urban Nerds in different cities. So we're starting small but dreaming big. And I believe that it could be done. And what we do is when we made our hoodies and our shirts, we made them cool. Like we made them fly. Like I'm from the streets. I like fly stuff.
Yeah.
So we made them fly where now but this is the thing though, Info, remember right before we go, I said the key is in the name. Because when I wear this, people always stop. Urban Nerds, what's that? Since you asked, let me tell you. See, because the thing is, you can't be a real nigga and an urban nerd at the same time. So if you got a whole neighborhood full of real niggas, but then you got a half the neighborhood full of urban nerds, there's gonna have to be a shift somewhere.
Yes. So
we just gotta make nerds synonymous with being cool. That's the place to be. That's sterile. So, like, and this is why we do the clothes and the shirts and we make them fly. We make them fly. Like it's cool. It's cool to know how to read. It's cool. It's cool to know your history. That's the fly stuff, So yeah, I got you back to basics. Yeah, we got your size too.
Fantastic. All right. So George, I'm gonna conclude this right now. But we got to do this again. It's been a long time since we've done anything together. And this was just, I think this was a perfect way to put an icing on the cake of what the original theme of this video was today about community and about what's happening to a community and people coming together to support a community. And you are a community, and what you're doing in Philadelphia is part of what the community needs. And so all of us that live afar in different places, we can all support his organization from afar, buying the merch, telling people about it. When you subscribe to his channel, share his videos, let people know about what's going on. That's how you expand. We can all do something where whatever our vantage point are. If you live close to the Philadelphia area in that state, in Pennsylvania, maybe you want to get in contact with George and connect with him and see what you can do physically on the ground with George. George, first of all, let me ask that question. Are you open to people who live in your area, who, by the way, are legitimate people? Of course, you don't want to deal with people that's phony.
I'm looking for people that's into tech.
Okay.
Robotics and tech stuff, because I'm even trying to do some virtual classes with some of my kids.
Okay. Is that on the web? Is that on the Urban Nerds Worldwide website for contact? Well, of course you have a contact number on there.
Yeah, you go on there, you can do contact.
Okay, so you can go on there, make contact with George Macon if you want to get involved with Urban Nerds at the ground level. He's looking for people who have tech skills. Call him up, contact him, let him know what your skills are.
Yep. And like I said, we can set something up next week before I come on.
Okay.
I'll come on and we'll further.
I'll be in contact with you because next week I have some brothers that I had to bump them from this week because of this news that I got today, this update to next week. We're going to be talking about, you might want to come over here for this. These guys are deep, man. We're going to be talking about health and what have you. and it's going to be powerful. So you might want to, you and your wife might want to check this one out. Okay. These dudes are real deep. So George, thank you for coming up, man. We'll do it again. Peace to you. Peace to you, brother. Peace to everybody. I appreciate everybody coming over. And there you have it. That's George Macomb. Came over, spreaded some love to us. How did everybody enjoy the videos that we played of his organization and what he's doing with the youth out there in Philadelphia? I got to give him cheers again. I got to give him a clap for that again. He's doing it. Let me go back into here with the time that I have. I want to say, Black Votron, thank you, brother, for sending out the links to the media that I'm on, and George Macomb put his stuff out there, and all the people who put his stuff in the chat room. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for your support, ladies and gentlemen, today. As a reminder to you, the Info Media channel that I put in the chat room is just what it is. It's a YouTube live streaming, how to build a social media platform on YouTube and any kind of platform, where I'm giving you tips and strategies how to go about. I drop videos on Mondays, Thursdays, or Fridays every week. I'm going to be dropping videos on that channel all the time because it's a brand new channel. It's small. It's going to grow very slowly and organically, but I see big things for that channel going forward. So make sure you check that channel out, especially if you are thinking to yourself, I'm thinking about making a YouTube channel, or I'm thinking about loading content to what I already have. You're thinking about improving what you're doing. Definitely check the channel out. This is how I separate myself. Yes, there's a lot of people on YouTube who give you advice on how to YouTube and stream and all of that, but I want to kind of give it to you down to earth without all the fluff. I just want to tell it to you straight up like it is. And that's the style that I'm going with on that channel. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. Okay. So check that out. I want to see my numbers grow a little bit bigger over there. I'm not going to start. I will not be yard streaming or live streaming on that channel until I get to 300 subscribers. I'm at 200 right now on that channel. Once I get to 300, I'll start live streaming, and I'll be inviting people on the channel so that we can do reviews of your channel, seeing what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, what you can improve on, and what have you. So I'll be going over that all that stuff, where I'm going to give you personal touch with people coming up on the platform. It's a different channel, because it's not a controversial channel such as this one right here, where I get into more controversial and polarizing content. But I think you will enjoy it. Even if you don't plan to do a content channel yourself, I think you might enjoy some of the things that I'll be telling you about YouTube that you yourself, as a person who supports channels, you may not know. Some of the things that we do behind the scenes to put on these kind of productions and these kind of shows for you and information. So I want to thank everybody out there. Go ahead and subscribe to that channel if you can. Check out George Macomb Experience, George Macomb in the Urban Nerds Worldwide. They have a website. They have a YouTube channel. The merch you can purchase, and that money goes to donating to the movement that he's got going on over there. And unlike certain people like Umar Johnson, you're actually going to get a tax write-off on it. And he's not walking around abandoned buildings. He's actually working with kids, even though someone else says that he's been working with kids. You never see him working with kids, but you do see George Macomb working with kids. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
So I want to thank everybody. Black Votron, Natural, Keith, thank you for that super chat that you gave me earlier.
Thank you for the super
chat. And I think Back to the Basics gave me a super chat as well earlier.
Thank you for the super chat.
And I want to thank her. Anyone else that I missed in the chat room, I apologize if I missed you. I respect you. I respect everyone that came to the chat room, even if I wasn't able to call everyone's name. Wasn't trying to be rude. I felt that when the mayor was on, because her time was short, and you notice I did not play any music and do any intro like I normally do, because the mayor was very busy, and I was wondering, where is the mayor? Where is the mayor? And then I called her on her number, and she told me she was out canvassing and things got busy for her. And I basically gangstered her and got her on the show, asked all those questions of her. And I felt that because of her time, I just didn't want to use a lot of time calling everyone out constantly. I just wanted to let you hear what she has to say because she's on the ground. So I want to thank Virginia Rivers, the vice mayor of Mason, Tennessee. I want to thank Sister Dawn Page for coming on with us as well. I want to thank George Macon for coming upstairs to join us. I want to thank the BS3 family out there that's on Roku TV with my man Ben out there who's brought me on board the network that's on Roku TV, the BS3 network that's also on Facebook and many other platforms as well. I want to thank you.
BS3 Network.
I want to play that for you.
Changing the way you watch TV.
All right, now I'm a part of that change.
BS3 Network is now on Roku TV under BS3 TV. Download today.
So if you've got Roku package at home, you go into BS3 Network and you look for Information Man and many of the other folks that are on that family they're doing sports over there. They're doing religious talk, cultural talk, relationship talk on that channel. I'm just a part of that lineup on Sunday, and I really appreciate that. And I hope everybody out there who's watching on Roku right now or will watch this on Roku TV, I hope you come over to the YouTube channel and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. I've been looking at my numbers. They're growing step at a time. My content's not the kind of content that just gets droves of people over because I'm talking about stuff that people sometimes don't want to deal with because it's reality. Okay. And I'm looking at YouTube right now and I'm saying I got a lot of stuff to cover. I think I do want to talk about this nature boy buffoonery. I think I want to get into that topic, even though it's not technically the kind of stuff I like to talk about necessarily. But I think I got to talk about it. I want to look into this preacher, this bishop, these damn preachers out here who are doing things, grooming young ladies that are 18 years old. And I think it's a damn shame.
Tell the truth.
Brother Keith, thank you for another super chat, brother. And this is what I'm going to do for you.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to
Thank
subscribe
you
to
for everybody that super chatted me. Here we go.
Time to run it all. I wake up. Yeah. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Time to run it all.
Tell the truth.
Sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Time to run it all. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Time to run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Time to run it all. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turn to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me.
Tell the truth.
Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this time to run it on. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch, time to run it on. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this time to run it on. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch, time to run it on. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Nigeria, come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself, they getting buried. That's what the devil used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this time to run it on. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch, time to run it on. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no.
Okay, everybody, a little boo-boo there with the music there a little bit. Thank you everyone out there for watching the program today. Do me the biggest favor because this was a very good show. We had a very important guest on today. and it was necessary to get the information right. And we got a lot of information right today from the vice mayor. I want you to share this video in all your social media. If you are a content creator, share this video in your community tab. Tell your friends, your family about the show, so that we can continue growing the support over here and growing the channel and building the family further and further and further. So I thank you. Next Sunday, I will have these two brothers on. I'll be making an announcement about their YouTube channel, the whole 9 yard, very soon during the week. So be on the lookout for the community tab information that I'll be sending you. And then I'm thinking about maybe touching on some of these weird things on YouTube that's happening with weird people who are doing stuff that I think is buffoonery, especially when it comes to this Nature Boy character. I've been watching him over the years, and the nonsense and the buffoonery that he's been putting on, and the fact that you've got black folks buying into this buffoonery and engaging and being bamboozled by a man who's talking a bunch of gibberish. This is crazy how we can let these individuals, these shysters, these imposers, these rip-off con artists continue to benefit off of YouTube and push out content that makes our people look buffoonish. You got to laugh to keep from crying. So with that said, let me get on out of here. Let me say shout out to Tim Black if he's watching. I went over to Tim Black's channel over this week. He wants me on his channel. I want him on my channel. We got to make it happen. We got to book it. I got so much content that I want to do. So many guests, so many people I want to bring on. So little time, but we're going to make it happen. And thank you, everybody. Peace to you. Respect to you. Make sure you subscribe to Info Media immediately and be a part of that development on that channel and the way that channel is going to grow step at a time. So take care, everybody. Peace to you. Have a great rest of your evening, and let's get on out of here. Peace.
Tell the truth.
Tim Black, I know you're going to like this song I'm playing. There it is, baby. Peace. Everybody. Brother Tim Black, y'all going to like that, brother. He's got a damn decent channel. He said I was the man. He's got a big platform. He said, Info, you're the man. But no, I'm not the man. Everybody in that chat room is the man and the woman. You make this channel go. You make this channel do what it does. Thank you, everybody. Peace.
Tell the truth.
All right. I want to thank Black Votron. I want to thank the Empress in the chat room there. Empress Kia, thank you for being here. Keith Weston, thank you for being here. Back to the basics. Thank you for that super chat again that you gave me, brother. Everybody that came over today, Natural, the House of X Entertainment, I know they were here. Point Blank Travel came over and watched today. George again. All of you, thank you.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Indians Exposed Investigation, thank you for coming over and joining the channel. All right.
Tell the truth.
Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth.
Have a great rest of your weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you.